Alright guys, Colin DJ from GBRS Group. We're going to talk about the second best sling. If you guys watched the spoof video, the trailer, obviously the first best sling is just a battle squire that just holds your gun. I got to climb over a wall, hold my gun, I get to the top, give my gun back. It malfunctions, I can John Wick it, I just throw it on the ground, transition. He gives it back to me, it's fully loaded, ready to go. We all know that's not realistic in this day and age. So, this is our attempt at the second best sling. This is as good as we can get it. I think we've ran most slings over the course of 20 years that have been produced. Great slings, shitty slings, everything in between. Everything has been modified to some extent. No matter what it is, if it's the length, if it's the pull, we swap out this hardware for that hardware, material changes, time into place, the padding becomes too much, cut the padding out, just everything. So we kind of just wanted to redo it, a minimalist approach. Knowing that you're going to customize it, so try to eliminate all the shit that we think people are going to get rid of anyway and just leave what's left. So nylon, 4-way stretch, padding, pull tab, no metal hardware, minimal metal hardware, pull tab 4 inches so it fits inside of a normal hand.
It's the air on the side of when you have gloves. And something solid to grab, and the double fold over as well, so at night when you grab it, you don't have to search around for it. You know what you grab and you can pull it, even if it's with these fingers. Grab a glove full of this and pull just to loosen, tighten.
And I know all you fancy guys out there are hell-bent on having these finger loops, so we put in double bar tacks. You can just remove them if you want to make this a finger loop. We pulled the tighten to cinch it down, because we all have shoulder issues, and trying to pull this thing back here, we just don't have the range of motion, especially guys that run around with kit. It's just not an option. So when you get the sling out of the box, the front end is 40 inches of pull, knowing you're going to chop it down, 16-inch pad, 1 3/4 wide, 20 inches on the backside, knowing you're going to chop it down. This is the magic part. This is the part that no one can believe is true. Holds the gun in place with no hands. Can you believe it? 2 points of attachment. It's amazing. I loosen it. I tighten it. If I go to climb, I switch, hold the tighten, and now I climb. It's the same sling. It's just our approach to it. This is the best option. Like not having binding tape. Anybody who puts binding tape on slings, like, run that thing around the back of your neck all night long. Like it chews, it folds, it gets kind of nasty. And it hurts at the end of the day. Because we know what it's like to run around with this thing neck tied for 10 plus hours and having to do this. That's why we did 4-way stretch. That's why we minimalist approach. No binding tape grinding the back of your neck. Slinging across gear, it's not going to get hung up. There's not a bunch of big transition points on heights. From the webbing to the padding, one of those, it's a 1/2 inch. So every time you get to sling this gun, it gets caught on some pouch, or you're running crashes on your back and now it's hung up and you can't get this shit off and you gotta get your buddy to assist it. We try to remove all that, all the complications, so it's simple. You wanna shoot, you wanna tighten it down, you can tighten it down. You wanna loosen it up, you can loosen it up. It's the second best sling. You guys can't have Jared, he's ours. You can't have John, he's ours.
Pad thickness, what that pad was, what it wasn't, and we've tested this. We've worn it, ran it, figured out what was wrong with kind of the stitching. This is one of the test slings, and we kind of picked up on the closure, wear points, so we tried to minimize any of that kind of weak points of the sling. 1 inch runs all the way through on top of this pad and creates this loop. So the 1 inch is on top, the padded and soft part is on below. So again, wear wise, you have the pad on your neck, 1 inch is out. Went into 2, this is kind of the version that'll come out, obviously matching colors and stuff like that, but with 2 bar tacks and how we kind of close this to minimize the wear points and messing up the stitching. Also, these slings come 20 inches on the back. It's meant to adjust to yourself, so it can be everything from a big boy to, you know, a smaller person. And then this fully extended how it comes is 40 inches, but again, it's meant to be cut down. Use a hot knife, scissors, lighter, cut it down to your size so you don't have excess 1-inch webbing. Also, kind of some things we've noticed are people run these tri-glides halfway right here, and you're cutting your slings capability and performance down. So all of our tri-glides are as close to a QD as possible, just so it gives us the most range and performance.
One of the big things we try to use universal buckles and attachment points that if you're overseas and you break this thing, you chop it. Dude, I've done it. I have cut the wrong end on slings trying to shorten them down, and I've fucking ruined the whole sling. So all of these attachment points, you can pull off bags you already have. If you lose one of these things, you chop it down. Any parachute rigger for the guys in the military, any kind of stitch bitch, any sewer, can fix this sling with minimal effort. A lot of guys are asking about tape, like Cole's got this hockey tape. It's essentially the same thing. I'm running gaffer's tape on this stuff now. It's just over the years, like this kind of stuff for cable management and everything else, it's awesome. But when you wrap it around slings and stuff, I feel like it loses its stickiness, the adhesive, pretty fast on this kind of stuff. So gaffer's tape to me, I mean it holds. Dude, we've got pieces that have been on gear for 10 years plus. It holds really, really well.
But if you run one of these QDs on the back, it allows for a 1 point. You know, patrolling to target, all that kind of stuff, it's always 2 point, whether it's around your neck or around your side. But once you get to target, it allows you, if you're stuck on 1 point, to switch to it. So it won't come with any QDs just because everybody has a preference on QDs, but it'll come with tri-glide on each end, and then you guys can kind of customize it from there. If you don't like this pull down retention and you like someone else's, basically this loop, you can undo it, put someone else's retention on there. Try to keep it versatile but simple. This is the only 1-inch side of the webbing that's sewn in to the sling. We just try to get rid of all the stuff that we hated about slings. We've worn them for 20 years, and we continue modifying them where they mount on the rail, on the buttstock. Try to make a second best sling.